Welcome to the Quaddie Poddy. A belated start due to some technical difficulties, but Cashy joined by Nick. How are you, mate?
Yeah, doing well. Thanks, boys. I know there's a couple of you guys watching live. We got it sorted, which is good. No, I'm looking forward. Big week of punting, followed by an even bigger week that was of punting. So it was a good weekend last week. We'll touch on that just before because there's gonna be a long pod. But just so you know, if you want to skip through just to the Everest or just to the Caulfield Cup, and you're watching this later, we will be posting it separately. So if you're on our channel, we have the Everest episode up, Caulfield Cup, and then the long one as well. So yeah, cheers guys for tuning in.
Let's get stuck right into it. We started talking to it before. It turns out we were muted and no one could hear us. But now, because we are live on YouTube, if this is in your ears, we are live on YouTube to the masses, and we are apparently working now. So Toorak handicap we'll start with. Antino, what a ride.
Yeah, honestly, one of the best rides I've seen, if not the best ride I've seen, definitely in recent times at least. I do think that was insane to go from the back to the front and then just absolutely blitz them. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. So I was very, 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 very happy to see that. I know I was on another wheel, but as a racing fan, that was awesome to watch.
Yeah, again, I was on orchestral. She got caught in a bit of traffic and she came home late, but you just had to sit back and watch. And gee, it made us be silly for not getting on it, considering its form. It had been around some of the best all prep. It had been around the Mr. Brightsides and the Pride of Jenny's. And you know, once something like that happens, you always go, "Well, wasn't it obvious? I probably should have been on it." But just the initiative in the ride, you love to see it, and it just tracks Blake Shin. He can get it done on a broomstick. He is one of the best jockeys in the country. He's the best in Melbourne at the moment, in my opinion. But a few other things that we need to touch on. We'll leave Mr. Brightside to the end because, of course, I want to take my winnings there. But with the Guineas, broadsiding, not even placing. Was that track bias or just a bad run?
I think he's got a bit far back. I think the track definitely played into it. That interview with J-Mac was funny after the race when they asked him what happened. He goes, "Yeah, good track." So no, look, I don't know. I at the end of the day, I don't think they're too upset with it. That horse is going on the Cox Plate, so I think they just got lucky that it won first up. I don't think really anyone, people saw it winning, but not to that, not as big. So.
Yeah, I think you can say track bias all you want. I definitely immediately went, "Oh, that was pure track bias, and it's such a shame." But then there were horses on the day that won off pace and from the back. You know, Jimmy Star defied track bias and got it done. You know, but broadsiding, you probably would have wanted to see him come home a little bit better. Evaporate came home better than him. I know the margin wasn't huge, but still, Evaporate came home better than broadsiding, and they were in the exact same spot on the track. So can you blame track bias if Evaporate can still beat him home? But yeah, he goes to the Cox Plate now, drops a massive weight. Will I be on him? I'm not so sure. I probably would have wanted a stronger run for me to be on him, but we'll see how he draws. We'll see what the field ends up before going on with him.
There's a long way before we start making any predictions with that.
But Private Life Group 1 winner just sounds bizarre, doesn't it?
Yeah, Brightside, the query again.
Yeah, let's get into it, mate. 2,000-meter horse, jury's still out because you can potentially say leader bias, but he still didn't win. That makes it, 0 from 6 now? He's not a 2,000-meter horse. I will die on a hill with that argument. I know there are reasons to say he is one, but there's one Cox Plate run. That is the one run where he's actually run well at 2,000 meters, and I will argue, I know it's in the hardest 2,000-meter race in the country, but Moonee Valley allows you to do that because if you're up on pace, going around that turn, you only need to sustain that final sprint for 150, 170 meters.
Yeah.
When you get to a Caulfield or a Flemington or a Randwick where it's like 400 meters, he just can't go straight for that long after running, you know, the 1,600 meters already. 1,600 meters is his distance. I think when he goes for home, when he's already past 1,600 meters, he runs out of puff in that final stages. I think we've seen it time and time again, apart from Moonee Valley, where he only has to keep going for another 150. I might sound stupid to some people, but I think the stats now back it up.
Yeah, it was probably disappointing if you're a backer of it. I know I was at the pub and surprisingly, so many people were on it. I don't know how you could have been on it.
Of course, they were. He's a colt horse, and
it's $1.60 though. Like, what are you gambling on? I don't know. That's me personally, but yeah, a lot of the people were on it at the pub. I think I had a trifecta play with it where I had it first overall, not boxed. So I was a bit flat, but yeah, a tissue didn't run great either.
Yeah, I will admit that I was on a tissue with confidence, and Brightside still beat at home. So I will admit I got that part of it wrong. I was just mainly happy that I warned punters don't touch those odds when I think it's vulnerable, and it happened. But yeah, I think a tissue going into a Empire Rose or a Champion Stakes, I think she'll be much better at Flemington as she typically is. But yeah, I'll first one to put my hand up and say I still got the tip wrong in the end.
Fair enough. That is. But it was good weekend of racing. Good to sit down, and it was probably I didn't get down to any tracks, but I definitely watched. I went down to the pub and watched a couple. Ray Warren was there. Rabs.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
What pub were you at?
Hills Club. The Bolo.
Ray Warren.
Ray Warren.
He's
a local.
Ray Warren, a local. I did not know that.
Yeah. You wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm not an NRL man. But okay, mate. Should we just get jumping into the hotline?
Yeah, we'll get into the hotline and listener questions. So put our headphones on and hopefully you guys can hear it.
All right. Fingers crossed you guys can hear this loud and clear because we did have those technical difficulties. We'll start off with our shower bets.
Hey boys, shower bets here. Last week, heard you boys talking about me saying I really need a shower, I really not. I want to keep it a mystery almost. I boys really want to know. Say something. I don't think you boys give a fuck enough, but that's completely fine. I like to keep it a mystery almost. All right, boys, into the tips, okay? Got deny knowledge in the Caulfield Cup. It's got 50.5 kilos. That's just nothing. It's going to lead and it's just going to get hung. Way to the stars. Thinks it runs well. Does a good job. Trusting you in the first at Randwick. I think it's a good horse. I think it's going to win. Hinged as well. Overpass, and then Kieran McAvoy to get another Everest growing empire. Lock that in, boys. I know I'm speaking a bit fast, but I'd like you to go over it a little bit, boys, but far out. Pretty confident. Already got a futures bet on Bellamantini to win a Group 1 and growing empire to win the Everest. So be happy with either of those two. But yeah, boys, another good week. Shower bets out.
Fair enough, mate. Thank you for that. A couple of good tips in there. I mean, your growing empire is a good chance, as is a deny knowledge. But yeah, we'll, of course, dive a bit deeper into that later. We'll move to Judd.
22nd of March, 2025. Golden Slipper. King Kirk, boys. Get on it. What's our thoughts on the 2-year-old so far? What's our thoughts on King Kirk? I'm surprised Rachel King did not sell the ride by leading the whole race and then dying off at the last 200 meters.
Well, big call. You're already declaring Golden Slipper winners off of a Breeders' Plate win. Look, I mean, usually they don't come out of those races, but Lady of Camelot came out of a gym crack and won. I mean, you can't be predicting it yet, but King Kirk obviously has to be your number 1 seed yet because it's the only boy that has won a, big race in Sydney in the 2-year-olds, unless you want to take one of the Queensland horses or the Victorian horses.
Still plenty of time. So yeah. I would no jump into any conclusions just yet. I thought the two horses that won the 2-year-old races in Sydney looked very, very impressive. I will say that. In particular, I thought the girl looked very impressive. But yeah, no one's calling a slipper winner just yet.
We'll say Ikarian Dream won today at Warwick Farm in its debut. So turns out it's not Scampy. So maybe that's something to look at going forward.
We'll wait and see. There's still plenty of time. You still got the millions to look at as well. That's it's a big one because obviously, look, Stormboy was the top seed, didn't win the Everest. Oh, the slipper, sorry. So just shows it. So we'll wait and see. Plenty of time.
Yep. As I always like to say, if you like a horse in a 2-year-old race, get on it for the slipper because you will probably get bigger odds pre-race than post-race if it does win. And then we finish off with John Snitzel.
Will Osmosis ever make a return? No. I think it's going to be sent to the glue factory.
Oh, that's harsh.
Is that?
That is so harsh. But no, Osmosis, sadly, racing days are done. He's off to stud. So you'll see his kids running around in a couple of years and hopefully they're any good, but you never know with stud.
Yeah, Glue Factory.
Ah, jeez. All right, mate. That's it for the hotline this week. Take us to the listener questions. There is quite a few. Most of them, I think, are related to the Everest. So if they are, guys, we'll probably skip them for the Everest chat. But Nick, let's hit them.
I'll put some up now. If you guys have any in the chat now, you can also ask. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for the Everest, which we'll get into. So there's one from Tristan asking for our trifecta, which we will do a bit later. Are you coming to the Everest? We will both be there.
100% we will be.
We will both be there with some mates, hopefully having a few beers, which will be good. Romantic Warrior was in the Cox Plate field. Does she win it again against this field?
Good question.
You don't know. You don't really know the field yet, honestly. I know there's a list of potential, but there's still a little bit to go, isn't there?
Ask us that question again, Cox Plate weekend, when the actual field's been assembled. But I think she'd go close, or he'd go close. Sorry.
Henry Bear, what the flying fuck was that barrier draw shit last night?
Oh my God, what was that? Did you watch it?
No,
you were probably at work.
Nah,
it was ridiculous. It was so you know how they usually do it out on the harbour where they do like a firework or a drone. So they did a circus in the middle of the Randwick infield, and it was just so bad. I mean, any publicity is good publicity, but it took so long because they had to stall to keep setting up every single thing that they did. So they did like a motorbike jump, or they got the ring out where all the motorbikes ride around each other.
That's just cringe.
Or a trapeze thing. And so while that's all good and well, they had to stall between each barrier for like 5 minutes because they had to set it all up. So you had people running around interviewing people in the dark while there was this weird circus music playing over everything. And they're just trying to make it all look nice and fun and cool, but it was just so strange. Give us the barriers and let us do with it what we will. Why'd you stretch it out to be an hour long?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. There you go. I didn't even watch it. I can't say.
Be glad you didn't, mate, because I thought I was strapped in for 10 minutes of fun and it was 45 minutes of hell.
Hayden Miles asked, if you change one thing about the Everest, what would it be? Beer prices. Make them cheaper. They're so expensive and the lines are so long.
Yeah.
It needs to be like an MCG or SCG system where you walk in, grab your beers, you pay on exit instead of everyone lining up and waiting for hours and they cost $15.
That's a great point. More bars.
That's what I'm thinking.
Prices might not come down, but the lines need something to be done about it.
Not those like shitty bars either. Not like I don't want
pop-up bars.
A pop-up like gin and tonic bar. I want
give him beer.
I just want a bar that just I know what I'm getting, not some bloody Pims or something like that. That's what I think. That's what I want. What would you change?
I don't really know, but you make a good point with the lines. The lines are always terrible. I know I missed a race a couple of years ago, and that's why I often don't go to the bar on Everest Day because I don't want to risk it. Well, I mean, honestly, the thing would have been make it a Group 1, and now that it's a Group 1, there's not much else I think to change. I think it's great setup. Maybe, I reckon, give a slot to an international horse. Make it an international exclusive slot so we can start to inject some Americans and some UK sprinters and some Hong Kong sprinters.
I don't mind that. Is it Everest Day or Caulfield Cup Day?
It's Everest Day.
I reckon it's Caulfield Cup Day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know we go to the track, but I personally look forward to the Caulfield Cup a bit more.
Wow.
I love the Caulfield Cup.
Oh, fair enough.
I think it's probably apart the Cox Plate's up there, but Caulfield Cup's one of my favorite races.
Damn, okay, I didn't expect that. I thought we were both wholeheartedly going to say it's Everest Day.
No, I like the Everest, but I love the Caulfield Cup. I really want to go to a Caulfield Cup one day.
Fair enough.
Last one, how many horses do you have in your black book? To be honest, man,
too many to count.
Yeah, I probably don't have that many anymore. Like I don't really use it. I used to use Sportsbet's black book. That was probably what I used, but no, I don't have that many anymore. Like I'd rather to be honest, because we watch so much of it, you probably just you know them, you get to know them. Yeah, like I probably don't need to write down like watch this horse, unless there's something like I do put one in on the weekend, but rare. Like I don't usually use it too much to be quite honest.
I often only use it these days if I, by chance, come across a midweek race where they look really good, and I just black book it in case they end up on a Saturday. I used to use it religiously, but yeah, because of the amount that we watch the races now, you just get to know them, and you just know who they are, and you remember the name, and you see them pop up in a field, and you remember the form, and all you got to do is take a quick squiz at a replay, and you know exactly who you're talking about. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, with that, we'll get into the track report. Thanks for the questions, guys. Takes the track report for Randwick, mate.
Yeah, so Randwick, it's interesting, guys. It was a heavy 8 as of this morning. Reports are suggesting it's already into a soft 6 because there wasn't really any rain around today, and the sun's come out this afternoon. It's still listed as a heavy 8, but even if it does, I think we'll be soft 6, soft 5, borderline good 4 on race day, because there's not much rain predicted for the rest of the week unless it is Friday. Friday, there's a potential of 5 mils set to come down. If that does, I reckon we'll definitely be on a soft 5 or soft 6, and then we'll dry out throughout the day because the weather gods have been kind. We're meant to have 27 and sunny on Saturday. But if that rain doesn't come down, I think at some point we'll get to good 4. I feel like we'll start soft, but some point we'll definitely get to good 4 if that rain doesn't come down. But I would be suggesting to look for horses that are versatile in all conditions. That's what I've done. I've made sure to back horses that I know that can get it done in the soggy if it turns out to be soggy. Rails in the true position, so every horse should get its chance. But remember, if it is wet, they'll probably like to get off the fence in the later races, so that could potentially come into play come Everest, come King Charles time. So we go to race 1 here, 2,600 metres, the St. Ledger Stakes. It's a Group 3. It's a tricky race to start the day. It always is. I'm going to take Trust in You. Closed off awesomely in the Metropolitan, and surely that's A-grade form. It's got most of the favourites in the Caulfield Cup, and so this is a Group 3 down at Randwick with a very skinny field. So surely the Metropolitan form is the way to go. Hopefully just sits off them and is the strongest slate. So Trust in You at $6 to kick off my Everest day.
Fair enough, mate. I'm going Waltham. Blake Shin coming up. Should be absolutely cracker. $8, $2.50. Pretty good. Not too bad for me. Race number 2, Big Dance Wild Card. Probably the worst race, Big Dance. Do not like that race. 1,600 meter though. Another one that's not too bad. You got a couple in there that are going to be trying hard, but I have to do too much caviar, I think. Took my licks when we didn't back it 2 starts ago, but we got back on it and did nothing. So give it a go again here. Too much caviar. $7.50, $2 for a place.
Also drops 10 kilos off of a Country Cup, so that's a big weight relief. We'll say quickly, don't hate the Big Dance. Love the initiative.
I don't like the
Don't like the date that it's on. I don't see why Peter Landis has to be cheeky and try and take attention away.
Trying to do too much.
Love the initiative. Put it on a different day. Look, I'm going to be on Berkshire Shadow. Carries the top weight, but does get 3 kilos off because of the apprentice that's on board. So he won't be carrying the 62 kilos that you see listed there. Have to follow the Epsom form here. This horse is dropping down to a race like this. And he was in an Epsom. Surely, come on. 4 lengths off the finish of, your Chia Wolves. Surely he's figuring in here. And the fact that he's at each way odds, $6.50, $2.25, I'm all over that. Again, I'm just looking for a place here with the fact that you get your money back if he does play. So I think he can win, but probably shouldn't be each way considering his form here. So Berkshire Shadow for me as we move to race 3, 1,400 metre Group 3, Reginald Allen Quality Handicap. Dominetta was super first up to win her maiden at Warwick Farm and can hopefully go on the job here. You would think from barrier 9 there, punters, she just pushes to the front and Adam Hieronymus just tries to hold them out here. You can see how open of a field this is considering it's a $5 favourite. $1.95 to place. Each way will be the bet if it goes over $2 to place, but for now it's just a $5 win bet on Dominetta.
I'm going Silver Wedding with Jamie Carr on board. Kieran Meyer trained, and I reckon he's going to have a couple winners on the day. Just quietly, $12, $3.40 for a place. Looking good for me. Move to race number 4 at the 1,600 metres here, punters. Hinch is your favourite at $3.20. And I think I just have to be with it. Blake Shin again, coming right down in class here. It's got a good weight, 54 kilos. Barry's a bit of an issue, but I think can settle really nicely. Blake Shin's on top of the world right now. Absolutely riding crazy. So Hinch for me, going to be enough in the 4th.
God, I hate myself, but I'm unhinged as well. I swore I was never
Is
going to
it
be on that
not-
horse, but
Not
come
in
on.
this race. Look at this field.
Surely, this is where she gets back on track. She drops out of the A grades. You know, usually the field later in the King Charles, those are horses she's been running against. She's been Group 1 all the way for all of those starts that she's been unlucky in. She drops all the way back to just mare's grade now. She is the class horse of the field, yet she's not the top weight. Come on, dude. If she can't win here, she's never winning again. $3.20. Get it done, Hinged. Get it done. We skip races 5 to 9 because they're all in the tip-off, mate. You can take us all the way to the last of the day.
Yeah, benchmark 88 to finish. I think a lot of people will be out the door by this stage with a pretty tight Everest. I think a lot of people will lose a bit of money and they're going to be out of there just quietly. I'm going well timed, $4.60 for me. Nash on board. Nash is back. Well timed, 11th barrier, one last start. Pretty easy, $4.60 for me.
Will it for me? Yes, I'm going a favourite in the Get Out Stakes, and I will be on it with the rest of the punters who have stuck around, who are probably trying to chase their losses. Or maybe they're just loading all their profits on and hoping that they get even more money to walk out with. He's in just too fine a form not to back. He's facing a lot of horses that he's already beaten, so I'm happy to take the $4 on offer and hope that J-Mac can just get the punters home off with a bit of success. And, mate, like I said, that is a very quick Randwick rundown because we skipped races 5 to 9. They're all in the tip-off. We'll get stuck into them now, guys. So we got to go through the Kosciuszko, the Sydney Stakes, the Silver Eagle, and the King Charles. And then, like we said earlier, we'll be going into the Caulfield Cup runner by runner. Same with the Everest. So stick around, guys. Stay keen. If you've already listened to the Caulfield Cup and Everest episodes at this point, because we know that they're going out separately, all good. If you want to just skip to the Quaddie, we understand. But for those who haven't, stick around. So, mate, we'll get stuck in to race 5 at Randwick, the Kosciuszko, 1,200 metres. It's the Everest for the country horses. I love the initiative. I love the race. Front page comes here as your $2.15 favourite because he's won the last 2 editions. Could he potentially go 3 straight, mate?
I don't know. J-Mac hops on board. I think this is a good race. I know we Arcado back in the day.
Yes, one of my best racing memories.
We won a lot of money that day. We did well. But look, I don't know. It's a country race. Anyone can win. I think front page.
It's a very rich highway.
It is.
Well, to be fair, these horses are better than highway, but you know what I mean.
I saw the King Gutho trainer come out.
He wasn't happy that he didn't get a slot.
Was not happy. He said this horse was going to win. What is it? Third emergency? Second emergency? How many are you starting this? 15,
I will double check which emergency he is.
Anyway,
he is third.
He can't. Yeah, third emergency. So he won't get a start in this race because they pay down to 10th, I think, something like that. He came out and said this horse is going to win the Kosciuszko, and I can't believe none of you picked it. I'm personally not with it. I'm going with Gallant Star for me. Jason Collette on board. $12, $3 for a place. Looking nice. Tough one, but it's going to start off for me with some points.
I'm going to be sitting in Macca's at the end of the year, aren't I? I'm on Gallant Star as well.
You're on as well.
And every time I try and get some points on you, we end up siding on the same horse. But I mean, I can't not be on this horse. I back it religiously. It always does me well. It's always in and around the finish. I think it's overs. It's never missed the placings at this track. It's never missed the placings at this distance. It's never missed the placing second up. Also, if it's good, he can do that. If it's soft, he can do that, Nick. I'm pretty sure also Kerry O'Keefe owns this, so you'd love Skull to get up here and you'd hear his laughter all throughout the Randwick bars. Hopefully he even shouts a bit of the bar. But Gallant Star at $12 to win, $3 to place in the Kosciuszko for me. As we move to race 6, the Group 3 Sydney Stakes, 1,200 metres. These are all the horses that got rejected from the Everest slots. It's always a great race, and it usually throws up a few roughies here and there. Nick, how are you seeing this race?
Oh, yeah, look, this is a good race. You've got your, obviously, think about it, overpass if they don't make it in, which they highly doubt.
Unless something happens on the morning of the race,
King of Sparta, I reckon, would have been a good chance if it didn't draw the absolute car park. Remark comes back around, but I'm going to be with Arkansas Kid. Been with him pretty much last couple runs. He's been there and thereabouts down in Melbourne, comes up to Sydney. I think this is a great race for them to target here personally. $9, $2.80. Price I can get along. So Southport Tycoon's one to watch, obviously. Stole it off Growing Empire after the horrible run that was down at Moonee Valley. But yeah, personally, I like Arkansas Kid. I've got a lot of Blake Shin today. Oh my goodness.
You have gone a lot of Blake Shin. Yeah, look, it's stacked field as always. Like I said, it's the horses that didn't get an Everest slot. These are all the top B graders in the country, usually, minus a couple that are waiting for later on in the spring to have another crack at the races. Southport Tycoon, worthy favourite after that Manikato win, but I see a horse that I think should be favourite and probably should be in the Everest. I think the only reason he's not is because they tried to negotiate him in first up and none of the slot owners thought that was a good idea. Overpass. He is like, I can't, deep in the prep, he's a B grader. First up, he is like nature strip, like levels of good. First up, the boy just pings. The boy gets it first up. He's won, 2 quackers first up. He's won races out in Western Australia first up, and he usually places first up in very good company when he does it over in the East. I think the fact that he doesn't have to go against those A graders who are all in the Everest here will get the job done for him. $5.50 to win, $2.10. Nice 8th barrier. They can do whatever they want there. They shouldn't be able to get cut off. They can ping and go to the front, and he can just run him into the ground. I reckon he gets the job done here, and a couple of Everest slot owners will probably be thinking, yeah, we probably should have taken him. He's the only emergency in the Everest I think could actually give the race a shake if something happens, and he's definitely the emergency that they'd probably take because you get to choose out of the 4. I think if anything gets scratched, they'll be picking Overpass up straight away. We move to race 8 now. Winning, you're in for the Golden Eagle here, 1,300-metre Silver Eagle.
Yeah, good race again here. It's a great day in Sydney for racing. It's going to be real packed at there as well. So if you're at the track and you see us, come say g'day. But yeah, Kamochi's your favourite, $4.80. This is a real tough one to pick. A striker drew the absolute car park as well. Blake Shin again. But I'm going to be with War Machine here. Declan Bates on board, $7.50, $2.60 for a place. Second last start down in Moonee Valley. Should be good here. Going to have a go here. So that'll be me, War Machine.
I believe it is double nominated for Melbourne, so be aware of that, punters. Nick will, of course, change that tip. And if it also,
if anyone tips it, you can change it.
So the posts will come out on the social media, as well as the revised quaddie numbers if it does get scratched, if that affects the quaddie. Look, take your pick. There's a lot of good horses in this field. They all deserve to potentially be in the finish, which is why I hate to go a favourite in such an open race. But Kamochi's a proper Group 1 horse, in my opinion. She's only just behind all the horses in the Everest in the Manikato. She only finished a couple lengths off the I Wish I Wins and the Growing Empires of the world. So you got to respect that. She's jumping up in distance, which is only going to help her because I think she is more of that middle distance horse, that 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 instead of a sprinter. So I think she's a worthy favourite. I think she's going to be very hard to beat. If she can get a clean run to the line from that 10th barrier, hopefully Jason Collett just revs her up, gets her going, and she can get her nose in front at the right time in the race. So I will be taking Kamochi in the Silver Eagle. Don't know if she can win a Golden Eagle, but I think she can definitely win a Silver Eagle. As we move to what will probably be the second biggest race of the day, second best race of the day, in my opinion, the King Charles Stakes. It was awesome last year. They've got an awesome field again this year. Rumour has it, Nick, the King's dropping by. Do you reckon he's actually going to rock up?
No.
Apparently, if he does, it's literally for a lap of honour to wave to the crowd, go up in a box, watch it, and then get the hell out of there.
What? Out of Australia?
No, just out of the race course. So probably drunken yahoos by race 9 don't get anywhere near him.
It's pointless if he's there. No offence, personally. Anyway, great race. Pride of Jenny, $2. Fangirl, Tom Kitten, Celestial Legend, obviously. Yeah, good race. What are you thinking?
I'm not on him, but Pericles at $31. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Zach Lloyd.
Tom Kitten at $20. What?
Yeah. I like Tom Kitten.
Like, look, I get it. I get that Fangirl and Pride of Jenny probably go 1-2 here, and I don't blame you for thinking that. And I will be picking one of those horses. But, geez, come on. Again, Chairwolf, $9. What? Celestial Legend, $14. What? So, punters, if you like anything outside those two favourites, you're finding some good value in this race. And it's a good opportunity to pick up some points for the tip-off. But I just can't get away from Fangirl. Pride of Jenny, is she the likely winner? I guess. But we've seen in the last 3 weeks, 3 short favourites. They got skittled. $2, not a price that I like for her. She's probably going to start shorter than that as well. So I don't like that price. I won't be on it. I'll be on Fangirl instead. 1,600 metres at Randwick is her race. If she's ever going to turn the tables on Pride of Jenny, this is the time to do it. Pride of Jenny, will she be a little bit vulnerable, punters, going third time at 1,600? Could she be wanting more at this point? I don't know. But I think if anyone's ever going to beat Pride of Jenny over the mile, it's going to be Fangirl here. So I will be on her. $4. I'll take her.
Yeah, it's tough here. It's tough. I'm going to go left field just to, because if I get this, I've got a bit of room here, punters. If I get this, you're not catching me.
I hate you so much.
Tom Kitten, $20, $3.60 for a place for a big upset. Hasn't put a foot wrong.
I'll just get Macca's now.
If I get that, crazy. But I reckon can snag a place, worst case. So Tom Kitten, Jamie Carr, get it done. She can ride in a good race. So she's been there. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, try something different.
Yeah, fair enough. If you're not knowing what we're referring to, punters, the tip-off, of course, that we've been doing all spring, the loser out of me and Nick, and I'm losing by about 14 points. Points obviously based on the odds of the horse if they win. Loser has to spend 24 hours in Macca's, and Nick's paying probably $1.50 favourite to take a third straight tip-off here.
I will say, punters, in this race, I will be at trackside, and if Amelia's Jewel is walking around and is somehow calm with the amount of people there, I'm going to have some money each way on it. It won't be my tip for the tip-off, but I'm going to have some money each way on it at $19, $3.60 if she is calm.
She has the opportunity to make me look like the silliest person in the world here.
If she is calm, I'm putting each way money on her because what race was it last year when they got the helicopters out and she was freaking out in the Turak? Yeah.
12 months ago, though, she beat Pride of Jenny.
Yeah, she can get it done. She can get it done. It's just if she might get a bit spooked because the people are there, especially if they're singing and stuff, which they do like to rev the crowd up, especially if it's after the Everest. Everyone's pretty drunk, so we'll wait and see. But punters, if you're watching on TV, go to the racing.com do the parade, don't they? Or?
No, that would be Thoroughbred Central.
Thoroughbred Central will do it. And yeah, if she's calm, I will be having some money at that price, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's just another one.
I reckon you can make a lot of money out of a trifecta play here, punters.
Oh, yeah. Shit, yeah.
A lot of money
because
out of a trifecta play.
Fangirl or Pride of Jenny somehow fall out of the placings, you won't surely one of them runs top 3, but if one of them doesn't and only one of them's in there, imagine if both of them aren't in there, that trifecta is going to pay very nice. It's a World Pool race. World Pool.
I don't know. I think Major Bill is going to change this race. Major Bill is going to go up and try and do a Pride of Jenny. And
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was one of the things I've written down here that I skipped over. Pride of Jenny finally has a leader that will probably
challenge her
beside her and try and challenge her instead of letting her get 10 lengths in front. So if they do so, surely you have to do that. Surely they send Major Bill forward to try and put some pressure on her. And if it does, swoopers come in and I think Fangirl over the top. But yeah, World Pool race, a lot of money to be had, a lot of money going to be in the trifectas, the first fours and the Quaddie. If we hit the Quaddie this week, bro, oh my God.
If you hit the Quaddie, it's good. We're going to put a lot of outside chances because even the amount of people that are going to be in on the Quaddie, if you have favorites, even if you win, you're not going to win that much money, punters. So if you think our numbers are going to be a bit obscure, is that the word? Obscure. That's why.
Trust the process.
It's just got to trust it. We're going to do our tips, and then we'll probably do 2 of our value tips for each race, which we'll do in a sec.
But yeah, that concludes the Randwick section. This is when we're going to start to get balls deep in the Caulfield Cup and the Everest. And Nick, Before we do so, mate, do you want to go through the potential giveaway that we're going to be running this spring?
Yes. So thank you to Dabble. They have set us up with a bit of a merch giveaway. So what we're going to do, okay, punters, if you're listening in the chat now, you can comment, or if you're watching on just normal YouTube when it's posted, you can comment or just send us a DM. That's the 3 ways you can enter. Pretty much, you just have to be following us. That's the first thing on Instagram. So just put your Instagram in as well. Who you think is going to win the Caulfield Cup and who you think is going to win the Everest. Okay, that's going to give you 1 entry into our giveaway. If you get it right, you get 5 entries on top of that. So that's pretty cool. It's a way to get everyone involved. So if you're in the chat, put a horse down and you can win a chance to get some Dabble merch, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's the giveaway.
On that, of course, Dabble, if you're going to be punting this spring, all of our bets are going to be on Dabble. I hit a $12 multi at Warwick Farm this morning.
Yeah.
And, if you don't want to miss those sort of things, get on Dabble, use the code MOCSports when signing up to let them know we sent you, but make sure to do so responsibly, set a deposit limit and think about what you'll be buying instead. But this is a punting marathon overall.
Yeah.
And we're going to be having a lot of bets on Saturday. I won't be surprised if there is quite a bit of our money that's in our account going to be launched.
There's going to be, look, I'll be honest, beers are flowing. When I have a couple of beers, my hands get a bit loose. So
they got loose on the weekend.
So yeah, and I won a good one.
And it paid off. So
look, we have a bit of fun, but a lot of the stuff that we put out won't be in the podcast or on our Instagram. So go onto Dabble. If you don't have Dabble, go onto our Instagram, go into our bio and sign up. Use our code. And yeah, give us a follow, see everything we bet on. Other than that, we'll get straight into it.
Trifectas, first fours, multis, the lot. So code MOCSports, make sure to do so responsibly when you do. All right, mate. Caulfield Cup. Okay, we're going balls deep. We're sorting the pretenders from the contenders as we do every spring. Now, I'll quickly go through the speed map punters for those who enjoy that sort of thing. Leaders should be Deny Knowledge and Duke de Sessa. Sayadati Saturday and Land Legend probably sit behind them, as does Elias, if Elias wants to push even more forward, but has to use a bit more petrol to get further forward. And then you'll have your Buckaroos, Circle of Fires, Miramasa, Young Werter, and just about the rest of the field going 2 pairs back all the way. And then rearing up the end of the field will be your Huertas, your Warmongers, your Knights choices. Some key facts and stats for you punters as well, if you like to get into this sort of thing. In the last 16 years, 5 favourites have won. But in the last 30 years, only 5 females have won. Since 2008, keeping with the 5 theme, 5 internationally trained horses have won. That doesn't include, you Without a Fights, who originally were trained internationally and then became Australian trained. They're pure imports. In the last 14 years, 4-year-olds have won. And then also 9 winners in the last 14 years have jumped from double-digit barriers. So don't worry too much about the wide barriers in the Caulfield Cup punters. More often than not, a wider barrier horse actually does get the job done. We'll get straight into it, mate. Number 1, the 1 horse, Calipore, Ben Mellum to ride, Keith Lee, geez, that's a wrestler. Chris Lee's trains, barrier 4, 100 to 1, Pretender or Contender.
Yeah, Pretender. We'll get that one straight out of the way.
Yeah, only positives is that he's going to get the trip. We know he's going to stay the trip and doesn't mind wet tracks. It's meant to be wet in Melbourne on Saturday, so keep that in mind, punters. Still can't see him winning, so Pretender. The number 2 horse, your $4.20 favourite at time of recording, Buckaroo, Yao Moreira, Chris Waller from barrier 8, Contender or Pretender, mate?
Contender, one of the leading ones, has been pretty faultless this prep, finishing just a nose behind Via Sustina. Looked like he was going to chase her down. Yeah, genuine contender. I don't see how anyone can rule him out.
Yeah, look, one of the leading contenders in my mind, as is everyone's mind. He's been an absolute stud this prep, just doing everything that he needs to do. Since he's had his nuts chopped off, he's a completely different horse. He's only just gotten beaten by a lip by one of the best horses in the country in Via Sustina. Draws perfectly. If he gets a clear run late, I think it'll be very hard to run down if he really gets motoring. If he hits top speed, good luck catching him in my mind.
Fair enough.
We move to the 3 horse, Circle of Fire. John Allen to ride, Kieran Maher trains. Barrier 13, currently paying $35 to win, $7.50 to place. What are your thoughts?
I've seen weirder things, but Pretender. I've seen weirder things happen than to see this horse win. I just think there's better options in this race, and I don't want to give everyone contender status. But yeah, Pretender for me. I think there's just better ones to go at. But the barrier does help.
Yeah, I'm going Contender here. I think he's one of the roughies that wouldn't surprise me if he won here. You'll see pretty quickly. I have four top real chances, and then there'll be a few roughies that I'll say that won't surprise me. Hence, I've given them Contender. This is one. You'd think it's probably still the final tune-up before a Melbourne Cup, but we know he's going to get the distance. He loves these handicap cup style races, as we saw in the autumn. So yeah, I think he's one of the roughies that could potentially get the job done here. Would love to see his price for potentially running, top 5 to 10. Some bookies do like to put that out. I'll say that for a few horses. He's one that I'd like to see. Number 4, Warp Speed. Not even going to bother trying to pronounce those trainer and jockey names because they're very, very much so Japanese, and I don't want to come off insensitive. Barrier 19, $26 to win, $5.75 to place. Mate, what are your thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think there's better options. Yeah. It's tough. I do like my international ones that come through, but no, it can't be mine.
Contender for me, he's Japanese. It's basically all you need to know about him in these sort of races. They often produce some of the best stays in the world over there, and considering they've brought the full Japanese team over, put a jockey on that knows him well, hometown jockey, it certainly scares me. He just needs to find a bit of cover from that car park draw, and he can figure in the finish. A couple of pretenders coming up for me here, but I'll ask you your thoughts on the 5-horse Huerta.
Yeah, we'll skip over that guy. No chance.
Yeah, can't see him turning the tables on Buckaroo, which is the case for a few of these here. We move to number 6, Warmonger. Mickey D to ride. Price and Kent train, barrier 16, $15 to win, $3.75 to place.
This is an interesting one, I think. I'm a bit surprised it's come out at this price, honestly.
Surprised in a good way or a bad way? Is it shorter or longer than you thought?
I think it's shorter than what if it was up in the 20 to 25s, I'd probably look at it and go, yeah, look, Contender, but at that price, I can't have it.
Fair enough.
I think you look at some of the other horses that have been put at that price. I think this, I don't think at that price, I just can't have it. Well, not for me.
I'm thinking very similar things here. I've said Pretender purely because is he a good horse? Yes. Has he been set for this race? Yes. Is he ready to peak and put in a prep best performance? Of course. But I think the barrier draw has just done him in here. That barrier 16, he's either going to go right to the back and have to make up 15 lengths going around the turn, or he's going to have to push forward, and he's probably going to be caught wide doing that. And he usually isn't really a leader anyway, so he'll be out of his depth, say, as a leader there. So off that setup, I think the negatives outweigh the positives, and I have to say Pretender, especially with that price, like you said. Now we get to a very interesting horse in the field here. Number 7, Elias. Tim Clark rides here instead of being in Sydney for the Everest. Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott trained. The only really interesting thing about this horse, Nick, is he's gotten barrier 21.
Yeah, could have killed it, really, I think. It was a good chance. Had it, I think we got $26.
We got $26 loaded up.
Yeah, I backed it a couple of weeks ago. Futures $26 for the Caulfield Cup. So look, I'll be hoping really, really closely that he wins, but he's a contender. But yeah, that barrier just is worrying, man. Like any other barrier, like put him in like the 15, like 16 and under, I would have been like, yeah, okay, he can do it. 21, it's gonna have to be perfect. He's gonna have to be perfect.
Yeah, I thought it was his race to lose until that barrier draw. It
was always going to happen, a top chance. It was either going to be Elias or it was going to be Buckaroo that's going to get that outside barrier. We'll wait and see.
He was my top horse going into this until the barrier draw. He still is one of the top chances. He just isn't my top chance. The good thing is, though, he doesn't have a lot of speed drawn on the inside of him, and he does have some speed himself, so he should be able to get over without using too much petrol. Does he get all the way to the front of them? I don't think so. He should be 1, 2, maybe 3 pairs back, but fingers crossed he doesn't get posted wide. Tim Clark here, instead of being in Sydney on Everest Day, clearly shows that he's very confident in it, clearly shows that Waterhouse is very confident in it. He won't scoff at a wet track as well, which is a good thing to know. The only query is the 2,400 meters. Can he run it? Gay says he can. I'll trust her. So if he can run it out, he'll be right in the thick of things, I think, later on in the race. Number 8, Land Legend. Zach Purton comes over from Hong Kong to ride. Again, World Pool race, I believe. expect this horse to probably shorten on the day because all the Hong Kong people will be getting on it. Jumps from barrier 1, the complete opposite to Elias.
Yeah, genuine contender. I think that win last start in front of Zardozi at the 2400 was impressive. Zach Purden, absolutely world class. Yeah, one of the top contenders, Land Legend.
Yeah, can make the distance. Tick. Gets Zach Purton. Tick. Gets inside barrier. Tick. Has best staying form in the country right now. Tick. Just needs to not get posted going down the straight to be a serious threat in the finish in my mind. Certainly a big contender, but I will say if you like him, take the $9 now. I can't see him starting $9 when the world pool starts to get involved. Number 9, Young Verta, Jai McNeil, Ride O'Brien, trained barrier 10, $21 to win currently.
I like it. This is one of my rougher chances. I'm going to go contender here. I got to put a couple in, and its form. Running at this distance is a positive for me, and has shown that it can get it done in different weather formats. So, yeah, good chance for me.
Fair enough, mate. I'm saying pretender. Look, comes with good form, good barrier, good setup, but he just can't go in the wet. And if it does end up soggy, I think that rules it out for him. So number 10, Duke de Sessa, Coffee Rides, Mayor Train, barrier 6, currently $18 to win.
Yeah, contender, another roughy chance. I think everyone's kind of on the same page with this one. Been running pretty well. Obviously 2 lengths behind Via Sistina and Buckaroo is great form to go off. So you'll watching, you'll see. But I definitely put that in your exotics.
Yeah, I think he's going to fly under the radar for a lot of people. He's definitely a contender in my mind, especially since it could favour leaders if it did last weekend. I mean, he's going to be close to being the leader, so it would not shock me whatsoever. Contender Duke de Sessa. Number 11, Knight's Choice. Robbie Dolan's going to ride out of barrier 14, 126 to 1.
How did Robbie Dolan get a ride?
How did this horse get in the field? Next. That's all I've gotten written down there. Pretender, massive pretender.
Yeah, we'll skip that. Next, Muramasa.
Yes, number 12, Muramasa. Barrier 5, $23 to win.
Pretender. I just think just not really showing me too much at the distance. His run there before came 6th out of 8th, military mission 1, and it fell 8 lengths behind. And this field is way better than that.
Yeah, he's the one that I'm most afraid of saying it's a pretender, as he's in good form, but I just don't think he'll run out the trip, like you said.
He ran at the 1500 and the 1800. I don't know.
He's the one I'm most scared of, but I'm labeling him a pretender. 13, we get to Zardozi. Andre Azteni to ride. Cummings trained, of course, out of barrier 12, $7.50 to win. Contender or pretender, Nick?
Contender. I like Zardozi. Is it Italian jockey?
I think that's where he's from. He came over in the autumn, and I'm pretty sure he rode Circle of Fire in the win.
I'm pretty sure he's out of Hong Kong.
Or maybe he is. Maybe
he's Italian, but I think he's out of
Hong
Kong. That's what I think personally. Yeah, Zardozi looks good, man. Yeah, that was a great run. Last start behind Land Legend. I thought I had it there. I thought I was getting right ahead of you in the tip off.
Mm-hmm.
But just couldn't get it done in the end. But 51 kilos, I'm licking my lips, honestly. Some of these, I know there's not a lot, but there's not a lot of high end weights, but 51 is pretty light.
Yeah, contender. She's the best staying female in the country at the moment, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Unless you, for some reason, count Via Sistina as a stayer, but I don't.
Get it done.
She could get another well-deserved Group 1 here. Could have and should have arguably won the Metropolitan, whatever your thoughts on that protest was. But her and Land Legend gapped the rest of the field. So it's great form here. She's going to be absolutely fit and firing. Nice middle draw. The rain's only going to help her chances. I think she is the one to beat here, Zardozi. As we move to 14, Coco Sun on the backup from last weekend. Out of barrier 20, $46 to win. Thoughts, Nick?
No chance.
Yeah, gave nothing last week, and then the nail in the coffin was the barrier, surely. But to be fair, she's carrying feathers. Yeah,
we'll wait and see. I don't see that happening. Deny Knowledge, the winner against Brightside.
Yes, another one on the week backup. Number 15, Deny Knowledge, $10 to win. Barrier 17. Will she be able to use the same tactics out of barrier 17?
I don't know. What did it run at last week? Probably pretty high.
You mean price-wise?
No, weight-wise, I'm thinking.
Weight-wise? She dropped 7 kilos from
That's
last
pretty
week.
big. That's pretty big to come off a week back up and get 7 kilos. I just don't know. I think I'm going to have to put it as a contender. It beat Mr. Brightside, who a lot of people call him moral. One of the best bets of the year, apparently. So, yeah, can't rule it out. I think dropping 7 kilos is massive for the horse.
Yeah, I agree with you. Contender, only negative is she seems to hate the wet, so she'll have to overcome that. But who knows? We've seen crazier things. She managed to do it last week. Maybe she manages to do it again this week. Number 16, Valiant King. Barrier 18, 100 to 1 to win. Thoughts, Nick?
Nah, we'll go on.
Yeah, won't win. I will say is overs, and you should probably find some good prices on the bookies that utilize those top 6 to 10 markets. If you can find it over $2-3 for your top 8, I say take that. But is better suited to a Melbourne Cup. Number 17, Positivity. Gee, Winona Costin, Caulfield Cup winner would certainly be a fun thing to see. It's currently paying $35 to win. Is it a pretender or a contender in your eyes?
Pretender.
I'm going to say contender. Seriously good form leading into this. Perfectly set up for this race. Again, not the worst roughie by a long way. It's one of those roughies that wouldn't shock me. I think Winona Costin being on it and winning would shock me more than this horse winning would be. Again, go shopping. Try and find some top 10 prices for this horse if you can find it. I think she has a great chance to be running in the top 10 in this race. Then we come to number 18, Sayadati Saturday. Ben Thompson will ride out of barrier 2, $15 to win.
Yeah, not for me. I like better chances. Yeah, pretender.
Yeah, and I'm going to say contender just because Europe. These European imports, you never know what they're going to do here. You got to give them a fair chance off of that. And then, look, you have Fancy Man, Berkshire Breeze, Francesco Quaddie as your 3 emergencies. Personally, I only see Francesco Quaddie as a chance out of those 3 if they get a start, but he's not going to, considering he's the 3rd emergency. Any thoughts on the emergencies, mate?
None of them are getting a run.
Yeah, okay. So, tell me, Nick, out of all of that, who are you on and why?
Zardozi for me.
Yeah.
I wanted Elias, but barrier there. I've got the ticket for the futures, so I'll take Zardozi for the tip-off. I just think she gets it done. She's looked awesome. $7.50 for the win. Zardozi for me.
That's a carbon copy of what I was going to say. I was on Elias until that barrier draw, so Zardozi comes swooping on in to switch my thing. Nah, Zardozi. I think she can get the job done here.
She's a horse.
She is a dog, and I've backed her too many times to not back her here. Who's your first 4 across the line?
First 4 across the line. I'll go Zardozi. I'll go Elias. And I'll chuck 2 roughies in as well, just to make it a little bit different. I'll go Young Werther. And I'll put Land Legends in there. Land Legend as well.
Fair enough. Mine's quite boring. I said that my top 4 chances were quite boring. It's Zardozi, Buckaroo to run 2nd, Elias to run a narrow 3rd, and then Land Legend to come 4th.
Yeah,
They're the top 4 most premier stayers in the country. I know there'll be probably a roughie sticking its head in there somewhere, but those are my top 4 chances. So I'll make that my first 4. Now, mate, that concludes the Caulfield Cup. Here's what people have come to see. They've stuck around for this.
I just watched our viewers just spiked for this. So here we go. The Everest. Here we are. 1,200 meter race.
Group 1 now as well.
Is it for this year?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was immediate change, but there was a bit of controversy around if they were going to recognize it immediately or not, but I'm pretty sure it's a Group 1 from Saturday. I'll go through your key stats and facts. Favorites have won 3 times, punters, all but Giga Kick, who paid $21. They've all paid single figures. So 6 out of the 7 winners have paid single figures. All have been male horses. In fact, a female horse has never placed. I think this is the year where that changes, but take with that what you will. 3-year-olds have won the race twice. I'm pretty sure, going back through the results, Giga Kick and Yes, 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 the 2 winners, they're the only 3-year-olds who have placed. So they say 3-year-olds have a good record in this race and because of the weight. But take that into account, punters. They're either winning or not placing. And then only 1 horse has won from a double-digit barrier. 5 of the 7 winners have won from either barrier 6 or under. If you take a look at the speed map, Stormboy and Growing Empire are your 2 likely leaders, with Lady of Camelot right behind them. IME should also park right behind them. And then again, you've got your Giga Kick, Spell, Nipotina, Sunshine, and Paris, and Jolly Star. They're all going to be around that midfield pack. And then you've got your I Wish I Wins, Private Eyes, Traffic Wardens, and Steffi Magneticas running up your rear. So you've got your 4 leaders, your 4 midfielders, and your 4 back markers here. Boy, oh boy.
This is the best Everest field we've had in
It
a
is
long
fantastic. I will say this before we get into pretenders and contenders. Take everything I say with a grain of salt when I call someone a pretender, because I've had to be absolutely brutal. Otherwise, it was 12 contenders, because anything could win this.
Honestly, if I could, I'd give everyone a contender, but we have to pick someone. So I know there's going to be some people upset with it, but look, you can only do what you can do. So
I cannot wait until that race is about to jump. Sweet Caroline is going to be playing. We're going to be screaming. We're going to be beers deep. We're going to be punting. And it is the best 90 seconds in Sydney racing. Yeah, I cannot wait. Let's get stuck in. Number 1, I Wish I Win. Barrier 9, $6.50 to win, $2.30 to place. Nick, pretender or contender?
I'm going pretender. I have to give some a pretender, and I think I Wish I Win's just not the horse that it was. Look, I'll be wrong if I'm wrong. I'm going to probably be wrong, because at the end of the day, like I said, any of these horses are going to win. So you can clip me all you want, but look, someone's got to make a decision. We've got to make those hard calls. I Wish I Win. Going pretender. I just think there's better options out there for me. Yeah, that third place last up behind Growing Empire and Southport Tycoon just really didn't impress me. That was its chance to come back and really prove it. Yeah, it's going to be a pretender for me. I know that'll be harsh on a lot of critics' minds and definitely can win, but I've got to pick some, so I'll go with that.
Holy shit, bro. I'm pretender as well.
Wow.
I'm saying this purely because, like I said, super brutal. I've had to try and find any negatives with any of these horses, and I think I'm getting a massive, massive place vibe. He placed narrowly last year, and I'm getting the same vibe this year. I remember a couple of years ago, Nick, you said incentivize the Boom Melbourne Cup favourite. You just had that vibe he's going to come second. I'm getting that same vibe with I Wish I Win here. Is he travelling as good as he was last year? Arguably he's not, but we've seen him at Moonee Valley with both starts, and we know that Moonee Valley doesn't suit his racing style, so he'll be much better coming here in this big track. He'll drift to the rear of the field. He'll try and swoop them late, which he's quite capable of, but I think he's just going to miss it. I think he's going to come agonisingly close again. So I think at $2.30 to place, he's a great bet, but I think he's just going to miss the win. So hence, I've had to go pretender here. As we move to horse number 2, Giga Kick. Mark Zara will ride for the first time. He's out of barrier 3, $14 to win, $4.20 to place.
Not the same horse since it's got injured. Yeah, pretender. I got to pick some. I just think there's better chances. It's going to be an awesome race. I'd love to see multiple horses being there at the end, and I think he'll be in the midfield, but I just think there's better chances for me, pretender.
This is the only horse I'm actually somewhat confident in labeling a pretender. Not super confident, somewhat confident, as he just isn't the same horse. Yes, obviously he's been building his fitness off that year-long break off the injury here, and he'll be peaking here, but there'll still be horses that are fitter than him, who have residual fitness from their runs earlier in the year, and their residual fitness from their runs in winter. I think the fact that J-Mac's not on him tells you the story. If he was the best chance in the race, J-Mac would be on him. I think he will go down as one of the bigger what-ifs in racing after that amazing 3-year-old season, honestly. When he came in as a 4-year-old, he had the world at his feet, and unfortunately that injury has cost him what could have been a super, super lucrative career. It's already been lucrative with the fact that he had that one Everest win, but who knows? Could have been multiple Everests, could have been a Golden Eagle. World was at his feet. I think he can only run a place, and hence I have to go pretender.
Fair enough. Private Eye.
Yeah, the 3-horse, $29 to win, $6.50 to place. What are your thoughts, mate?
Pretender. Can't win. Done its best. Yeah, it won't win.
I'm saying contender. I think his overs should not be $30 in a wide open
No way,
Everest.
Man. $31 is a fair price. Look at the horses in this race. No way.
Have you seen the way he was closing off in both his starts this prep? Get him to 1,200 meters and watch him soar. I know he hasn't won in a while, but he's been performing in this class every single race.
That's crazy.
He's usually only a couple of lengths off him. He's placed in this race before. He knows how to get it done. You can't say he's incapable. You cannot say he's incapable.
I can't believe you see. I can't believe, honestly, if you're giving I wish I win a pretender and give in Private Eye Contender.
I think Private Eye has travelled better than I wish I win this prep so far. He's closed off better than I wish I win, in my opinion.
Hot take, man.
But I'm saying contender for Private Eye.
Bella Nip.
Yeah, the 4-horse Bella Nipotina. 12th barrier, though, for Bella Nipotina. $10 to win, $3.25 to place. What are your thoughts?
This is giving me a place vibe for me. I don't think she'll get it done. I'll go contender. I don't think she'll get it done, but she can win. If she wins, won't be surprised. Any other barrier probably wins the race.
Look, the barrier is a deterrent. Like I said, only one horse has won from an outside barrier. But to be fair, it's a 7-year-old race. Those statistics, it's a very small sample size. But she does her best work from wide barriers. She won a Group 1 earlier in the year from a very wide barrier. She also came, it was barrier 15, by the way. She came second in last year's Sydney Stakes from a wide barrier. And she ages like a fine wine. You can never count her out. As long as she doesn't get caught without cover, which is a genuine possibility from the 12th barrier, I'd be shocked to see her out at the finish. If she can slot in and get some cover, she just pops out late and surely just digs and digs and digs and gets into the finish and hopefully does enough to get her nose in front at the right time. We'll love that it's a bit soggy as well. If we get a soft 5 or 6, soft 6 track on the day, she's going to love that more than a few of the other horses. So contender Bella Nipotina. We move to the stablemate here. Number 5, I Am Me. Nash Ruler is going to ride here. Again, opposites here. Barrier 1, $19 to win, $5.50 to place.
I think this is overs. Definite contender. Racing real well, 2 wins in a row. Distance is done and proved multiple times. 6 from 10 in the last at the distance, with 4 of them being wins. Contender. I'm pretty happy with this and will definitely be my exotics.
Yeah, she's in this race up to her neck. I see no reason whatsoever she should be at the price she is. She, just like Bella, ages like a fine wine. She gets better and better every prep. She's come back even better this prep, and she's gotten 2 wins. She's even beaten Bella Nipotina. I know that was over 1,000 meters, and this is 1,200 meters. Can she run a strong 1,200 meters? Well, she can run 1,200 meters. Can she run an Everest 1,200 meters? We'll find out on the weekend. But she's proved this prep she can hang with the best, and I think she'll be hoping the track does dry out because that's when she is at her best. But I think the fact that she is primed to park right on the leader's back, she'll have every chance in the world to use that to her advantage and just hopefully cross heels late, and Nash can just throw the sink at her and try and get her over the line. Massive contender, in my opinion. We get to number 6, Steffi Magnetica. Zach Lloyd's going to ride here instead of riding Traffic Warden. He's riding his Stradbroke horse. Bjorn Baker trained, barrier 6, $15 to win, $3.90 to place.
Yeah, contender. I like this. Steffi is looking good. That win, second place, first up was pretty faultless behind I Am Me, who I've also given contender. So I'll go contender here for Steffi.
It's very often that you want a 1,300-meter horse in these sort of races, punters. Reason being, they go out fast. They go out hard. A typical 1,200-meter horse might start to tire in that last 100 meters because of just how much pressure there is. So you want those run-on types. You want those horses that are actually built for 1,300, 1,400 in case that does occur. And this horse fits the bill. It's a Stradbroke winner. Think about it, was a Stradbroke winner. And then he came out and won last year. So all signs point to Steffi Magnetica running well. 6 barrier lets them do whatever they want. They can go all the way to the rear, or they can sit amongst the midfield pack or sit just off the midfield pack. Either way, she'll be one of the strongest swoopers. And as long as she doesn't find herself in traffic, she's a genuine each-way chance. Contender for me. We move to number 7, Sunshine in Paris. Tommy Berry to ride. Barrier 8, Nisham trained. $11 to win, $3.20 to place.
Yeah, good horse, contender. I think Tommy Berry's in for a good chance here. $10 a good price to have as well. Sunshine Paris doing pretty well. So yeah, contender.
I think she's the forgotten horse of the field, in my opinion.
Yeah,
she got
agreed.
the scalp of Jolly Star last start, and she was flying headed into this race last year before an injury got in the way. You would think that she just ends up towards the rear, maybe not all the way last, but she'll be sitting off them definitely. But she will absolutely fly late off that hot tempo that they're going to set. It is just a matter of Berry pressing the button at the right time, I think, if she wants to be in the finish. If he times that right, she is going to be absolutely flying. She would want the track on the drier side of things, though, but she's more than capable of it slightly soggy. Must include in all exotics punters.
Yep.
Race 8. Number 8, your current favourite at $6. Don't you love to see how open this is, that $6 is your favourite? Jolly Star, J-Mac jumps on. He thinks this is the best chance. Are you seeing this as a contender or a pretender?
Are you surprised that she's jump favorite? I'm a little bit surprised. I would be
surprised if she was a $4, $3 favorite, but considering it's $6 the field, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't know if she'll be jumping favorite on the day as well. I wouldn't be surprised if other horses come in like an I Wish I Win and jump favorite instead.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's a good point. Contender, yeah, ran awesome first up. Probably lost a little bit second up, but it wasn't too bad. It's trialed since. Yeah, I didn't watch the trial.
She's best when fresh, so they've given her a month break specifically because she's best when fresh. They were maybe even thinking of going straight from first up into the Everest, but I think there was still something that needed to be done to convince her that she could get there. They wanted some residual fitness, but I mean, you got to take her on her first up run, don't you? Surely.
Yeah, I think she's a contender.
Absolutely obliterated them first up. Was it a much easier field? Of course, but J-Mac will be doing everything in his power to turn the switch back on here. He wasn't on second up. Maybe that's something that you read into. He picked it. He could have ridden half the field, and he picked this horse. So surely that tells you that he thinks this is the best chance, and you got to respect his opinion. Will want it on the drier side, though, punters, I will say. Drier the better for Jolly Star. But yeah, serious contender. Isn't my pick, but she's a contender. We get to the 3-year-olds. Number 9, Growing Empire. Kieran McAvoy, he knows how to win this race. He's done it 3 times before. He's currently jumping out of barrier 7, and he's paying $7.50. Thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, contender. Would have been my leading one going in. Happy Craig Williams has jumped off if you are a Growing Empire fan. Can get it done. Been looking so impressive. This colt could do anything. I think if it wins this, it'll probably unfortunately get bred. Still a colt, obviously, so that price will be very, very high. You'd love to see horses keep running, but honestly, it's probably going to go straight to the stud if it wins this race. But genuine contender.
Yeah, pushes forward. Should either be leading outside the leader or right on the leader's bum going around the turn. So he'll have every chance. He'll have very little excuses. He either sinks or swims in that pressure. He cannot switch off like he did in the Manikato in that last 50 meters. If he does, I reckon he'll end up finishing almost last.
Line, man.
Whether or not he did, McAvoy will have seen that. He'll make sure that he's putting every effort in possible, because even if that horse does want to switch off, he won't want to be dragged over coals by the stewards. He'll be making sure he is just getting stuck into it. So I think contender, yes. As we move to number 10, Traffic Warden. Jamie Carr's on board here from barrier 2, $7 to win, $2.40 to place.
Contender. I think pretty much, like, spoiler, pretty much most of these 3-year-olds are genuine contenders. Yeah, she's a good jockey. She can get it done. This horse has been pretty good. Falling just behind Broadsiding is good form to go off. So,
I mean, yes, won the Everest as a 3-year-old. He also came second in a Golden Rose, just like Traffic Warden did. The drop back to the 1200 setup, I think, will be prime for him. I think he's a sprinter, not a miler. So I'm glad he came here instead of the Guineas. Drops 3.5 kilos as well, which will help. Handles every kind of ground, which will help. And will be sitting in the perfect spot to cross heels and storm down the outside in the final 200. I think he is the best chance of the 3-year-olds, in my opinion. He is definitely a contender. I know you hate to think that because you're a big Storm Boy lover, you're a big Growing Empire lover, but I think Traffic Warden is the best 3-year-old in this race, and I can definitely see him getting up. We move to Storm Boy, horse 11. Brenton of Dulla comes back over to Australia to ride for Waterhouse and Bott out of barrier 5, $13 to win, $3.60 to place.
Huge. Absolutely huge. I'm on it, punters. This is my tip. I don't care. I'm going to give it early. $13, $3.60. I was going to get on this at $9. So, yeah, 1,200 meter horse. If it gets a jump, I see him winning. Either way, I'm confident he finishes top 3. Like, that could be one of the bets of the day, I reckon, is just
the $3.60 on offer.
$3.60 Storm Boy to place is great. I think he leads, jumps well. And yeah, a lot of people like you are going to look silly. So yeah, Storm Boy, great chance. Get it done. Get it done, son.
Pretender for me. Look, like I said, I can't have 12 contenders here. Otherwise, what's the point? He is one of the few horses that I think the negative just outweighs the positive in this race. Number one, his jump. If he misses it, he's done. Number two.
Any horse misses their jump.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got a very big tendency to miss the jump. If he misses it, he's done. Number two, he likes to not be bothered in the lead. And he's going to get a hell of a lot of bothering in the lead. Here, he's going to get all the bothering in the world from the other horses, putting as much pressure on him as they can. So even if he does get up to a lead, he's going to have the pressure on. Number three, he won't like that the ground is a bit soggy. So he's going to hope that it's dry. I think he's more of a dry tracker. So with all of that in consideration, I think a place is best for him. I do think he's a great place chance, but a place is the only thing that I can see for him. I can't see a win. Hence, I have to say Pretender.
Cool.
We move to number 12, Lady of Camelot, Rachel King, rides out of barrier 11, $51 to win, $10 to place.
No chance.
Look, she isn't in a very ideal barrier. She probably isn't the strongest winning chance, but her price is silly in a race where realistically anything can win. I've had $5 on the place just in case she does, because I think she's a definite potential place chance, but she can't win. She's a place chance in my opinion. She wouldn't surprise me if she won, but I see place as a bigger chance than that. I think she can only manage second or third at best. Hence, I'm going Pretender. But gee, $10 to place in a race like this where realistically any of them could place, I'm taking that. $5 on to place is just a little cheeky side bet that I'm having here. So we come to the end here. You've got those
emergencies that won't get a run.
Look, unless something drastic happens on the morning, like a morning of injury, like a lost and running a couple of years ago, they don't come into play at punters. There's no, oh, it's wet, I'm going to scratch and miss out on the chance of winning $12 million. Not happening, okay? Overpass is the only one that can win, in my opinion, if he does get a start. You gave it early, but do you want to give us another rundown of why Storm Boy's your tip?
I've said it. The price is amazing. I think jumps wins. It's got that penetrating run that can get it done.
Ooh,
very penetrating run, such as which that Nature Strip had when he won. I'm not saying he's Nature Strip, which you'll try and take me out of context because you're an absolute coward. But he's got tendencies to be a really good horse, and if he shows up, he can get it done.
God, my ears just lit up there, the amount of shit you give me for comparing horses to good horses. But fair enough, if he's not the next Nature Strip.
I didn't say he was the next Nature Strip.
I was just saying. Just double checking.
Oh, look at this guy.
Just double checking.
He's like you're the media that the people don't like.
Oh, piss off, people.
You're the Tom Morris.
I'm the DDF, bro. I'm the Dan Gorringe of the racing world.
You're the Tom Morris of the racing.
No way, bro. I'm the Dan Gorringe of the racing world.
You're just the Osmosis guy.
Hell, well, he won for $20. I made a lot of people a lot of money. Fuck off. Bella Nipotina for me. I've been Team Bella all the way coming into this. I just can't jump off her. The barrier does suck, but if anyone's going to buck that trend of wide barriers winning, it's going to be her. She's just so versatile. Plus, she loves the wet more than others. And if it does end up wet, I mentioned all the way at the start of this podcast that they will get off the fence. Likely, if it's wet, you know, the fence will start to get chopped off and they'll start to get off the wet, which means that wider alley will only be a benefit of her instead of being a disadvantage. I think considering the price and her ability, I can't let her go around without me. I know it's a stacked race, but $10 for Bella Nipotina? Come on, man. I got to take her. Who's your first four across the line?
Look, I'll go Storm Boy. I'll go Growing Empire. I'll go Jolly Star, and I'll go I Am Me, just to throw a couple different ones in there. But look, punters, this is a real tough one.
So, again, it was Storm Boy, Growing Empire, Jolly Star, and then I Am Me to come forward.
Well done, buddy.
Okay.
Got it right.
Piss off, dude. First four, Bella Nipotina to me wins. Like I said, I wish I win, getting a strong second vibe from him. And then Traffic Warden to come third. Private Eye to storm home into fourth.
Storm Boy not top four.
No.
Nah, that's silly.
Dude, I reckon it's gonna be a blanket finish, bro. I reckon they're all gonna be separated by like less than a length.
If he doesn't win, he finishes in the top four.
This is the hardest first four to pick. Look.
Okay, it's fine. It's
literally your winning chance.
This all day. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's all right. We'll leave it.
Yeah. Literally take your pick who's going to finish third and fourth. Because I think it's Bella Nipotina, I wish I win, and then literally 10 horses who could make up those last two spots. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, well, that brings the end. So we'll go through the quaddie quickly, and
Do you have anything at Caulfield around?
we'll post it. We'll put it on. So yeah, actually, all of our around the grounds will be up on Dabble. So go and follow us on Dabble and have a look to see all of our around the grounds. We'll be punting everywhere on the weekend. So
Yes, we will.
we'll take it to the quaddie. We'll go obviously race 7. The Everest will be the first leg. So we'll cover Bella Nipotina. And we'll cover Stormboy, which is both of our tips.
We'll
And
have
then
to cover Jolly Star as the current favourite.
Jolly Star. And then, look, you can pick another one, mate. I'll let you pick the other one.
Mate, again, if we get through this race, I'll be cheering because take your pick. You could go a Traffic Warden. You could go a Growing Empire. You could go an IME. You could go an I Wish I Win.
Just pick
you
one.
know what?
Come on.
We'll go IME because we both said I Wish I Win Pretender. So let's back in our chance there, and hopefully he doesn't make us look silly and knock us out in the first leg.
Awesome.
So we've got Bella, we've got Storm, we've got Jolly Star, we have got IME. The numbers there is going to be 4, 5, 8, and 11.
Cool. Race 8, we have got my tip, which is War Machine. Your tip was
Kamochi.
And then 2 more that we can get in here. Punters. We'll go a striker. And then we'll go a bit of a roughie. We'll go bases loaded.
Yeah, I like that. So the numbers there, punters, are going to be 2, 4, 10, 11. So remember, guys, again, if War Machine does end up getting scratched, at the Mock Sports on Instagram is where you're going to find those updated numbers. We go to the King Charles Stakes here, mate. Obviously, we're going to be having Pride of Jenny in. Obviously, we're going to be having Fangirl in. We're going to be having we're going to be Tom Kitten in. Do we have Pericles as the 4th spot? I feel like we should have Chairwolf in, dude.
Okay. We'll go 6, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Oh, God. I think out of that, Celestial Legend's the only one that's going to upset that. I think we found the winner in that race. And then
Amelia's
race
Jewel, maybe.
10, and yeah, true. Amelia's Jewel. Of course, we're going to have Well Timed. We're going to have Willado. I say we'll go Estadio Mestala, and then pick a roughie for me, mate.
Number 12, Gambare.
Oh, what a throwback, Gambare, sorry. So for those punters, we have got 4, 6, we've got 12, and then we've got 16. Okay. Again, that is 4, 6, 12, 16. $50 will get you 19.5% on what should be a very juicy quaddie on World Pool Day. I think even if the favourites get up, you'll still be getting a nice collect there. Again, mate, as we always finish it off, if you're having one bet around the country on Caulfield Cup / Everest Day, who is it and why?
I'm going Stormboy for a place. I think that is one of the bets.
I thought you were about to say Stormboy for a win.
Nah, Stormboy for a place, $3.60. It's a good price. I've backed horses less than that. So I'll go with that. Pretty happy with that.
I'm going Hinged. She's the perennial non-winner, but she dropped so far in class. Surely this is the day she gets it done. At $3.20, I believe it was, Hinged for me at Randwick is going to be my best of the day.
Awesome.
All right, guys, again, if you're going to be punting this weekend, check out our Dabble profile at the Mock Sports on Dabble. Use the code MOCKSPORTS, not the Mock Sports, code MOCKSPORts. Sign up to let them know we sent you. Gamble responsibly if you do so. And a quick thank you to our sponsors, Stridyl. If you're interested in getting involved, a lot of 2-year-olds are hitting the track, so there's going to be a lot of horses going around on the marketplace. Head to stridyl.com to get shopping now. And Nick, anything to say to the punters before we go?
Best of luck. Big weekend of racing. So good luck to everyone. And yeah, should be good.
All right, guys. Good luck. Let's get some wins.